Hi, today I wanted to demonstrate how to set up a turret that is somewhat mouse aimed. And I have created this today to show off what you're going to need. So you're going to need a turret cradle, preferably advanced, with the seat inside of it, but this can be done with a remote turret and a regular cradle, so long as it has the turntable and pitch. We have a really rudimentary setup here just to provide power to the frame. So we have our generator, the fuel rod in it already. The fuel chamber with the fuel rod in it already, and the generator associated with it, some batteries just to store power, a radiator to provide coolant. We also have a cooling cell there just because that's not necessary. It's just to show you the test. What you will need, however, to control the turret is you will need a FCU unit, a control table stand with a button labeled shoot or whatever your preference is to create a fire, but by default the shoot option with a capital S is bound by default to your spacebar. So if you don't want to have to rebind anything to your spacebar, I recommend just leaving it as shoot. You're going to need two separate levers, one called FCU rotational yaw and one called FCU rotational pitch. You'll have to rename the turret pitch to FCU rotational pitch and the turntable to FCU rotational yaw. On the barrels, both of which the mounted weapon fire must be renamed to shoot, similar to your button. There's no extra controls necessary. You can attempt to create displays if you wish, but I'm not that far yet. I mainly want to demonstrate how to set this up, so that way hopefully other people out there can gain access to this kind of technology, so hopefully we see it to be more prevalent in Starbase, because a stronger community means for more interesting gameplay later. So to demonstrate what you need to do to control this turret, you could use the WASD to turn it around if you really want to. I do not recommend that. It's also a little wonky right now. I haven't really min-maxed this thing. Now, if you press C as in Charlie on your keyboard, you'll see a crosshair display. So this crosshair, if you move your mouse back and forth, will control your turret. It's a little janky, but it does the trick. And you press space to fire your guns. Now, I recommend actually using C as in Charlie where your crosshair is going to be. So you could bolt a crosshair of some kind, just a mark where you need to look, and then control your turret around as necessary. Now, this turret is also moving a little slower than normal because I have a lot of weight associated on it. So if I remove some of this weight, it'll move a little bit more smooth. Like so. So it's not the easiest thing to control, but it's a lot better than using WASD to try and move the turret around. The advanced cradle can, again, be a little janky at times, but once you troubleshoot it a little bit and smooth it out to your taste, I think this will be a great piece of technology to, say, put on a cargo hauler, for example, instead of using a tripod. So while this unit in particular is a little janky, on an actual ship, this is a powerful piece of technology. And the more people who have access to this kind of knowledge, the better. Now, the other thing that you must keep in mind, this circuit, if you will, this network, needs to be isolated from your ship. If you do have turrets on your ship that are connected to your cable network, and your, maybe not necessarily the pipe network, but primarily the cable, and that data is conflicting with the data inside of your ship, then you may run into problems, because at that point you will have levers associated with your FC, rotational yaw, and pitch that may conflict with your flight control unit. So it's better to just have an isolated generator and fuel unit chamber with some batteries on a separate network that connect to your FCU and respectively the turret itself and the buttons and levers associated with it. So keep this network isolated. I think it's possible to, however, keep the pipe connected to your ship, but I haven't made that myself to confirm. So thank you again for taking the time to watch this, and y'all have a wonderful day.